And he's dying. What's up, Jack?
Are you scared of asteroids?
In what sense? Like the sense that they're going to come down and kill us all, kind of sense, like the
Yes,
one.
that sense.
I mean, not really.
No?
I mean, if it happens, what can I do about it? So it's just kind of I'm already in acceptance kind of mode.
Listen, if an asteroid thinks it can hit this planet without me doing something about it, it's got something coming to it, you know?
Yeah. I feel like, who was it? Was it Jim Carrey was on Hawaii? It was in Hawaii when that threat or false alarm went out.
Yeah, and he just sat on a beach and said...
Yeah. Yeah, that moment right there. That's what I'd have.
That was probably the exact face.
I doubt it, but you know.
Some shit like that. No, so you're not worried about NASA making an emergency call as odds of a city-killing asteroid is heading towards Earth?
I feel like they would have had some semblance that it would have been on its way here long before any like real threat of it happening anytime soon. So
this one isn't supposed to hit Earth until 2032.
Yeah, so just like leave
still
the
has
area.
a 1 in 43 chance.
So just like you've got 8 years, or 7 years
of life left to live.
Move from the area.
What do you mean move?
Is it like is this like a planet killing one?
No, it's
you
a
said
city destroying. Yeah.
Yeah, city destroying. Move out of the city. You've got 7 years.
Did I tell you that they knew a location? Where that location was? They just said
they have an idea.
Hit the fucking planet.
That's cool. They probably have a general estimate of where it's going to land, and if it's 1 in 42 chance, I mean, so still not high, but
you know, every so often there will come out an article where it's like, oh, this asteroid is coming towards Earth. Oh, it's going to miss it by a couple miles.
A couple of miles is a couple astronomical units or something.
Who cares? Okay, and then I just make the joke to everybody of like, God's just in the bullpen. Just
I'm gonna get you. I'm just thinking of that.
He's loading up that 93 miles per hour fastball. You know what I mean?
Straight. It's going for the 102. He's going for it.
All we need is a suit of armor around the
world.
And I propose to you, Ultron. Never thought of before.
Yeah.
Still waiting for him to drop in Rivals ever since he's been announced.
Dude, I'm ready for
announced
the Thing. To be honest, I want to see what it's like.
Here's the thing.
Do you know how many times I heard that Super Bowl night?
Dude, I just watched this guy freak out because he saw someone say, "Yeah, the Fantastic Four trailer looks great." But here's the thing. And it was a picture of the Thing in the movie. And he got so upset, he made a 3-minute video about how comic book fans are never satisfied. And like, you just want him to look like the 2000s. And I was like, dude, this is embarrassing.
Didn't get the joke. Yeah, my roommate is like, the Thing is his favorite character. And my other buddy, whose house we went to in Chattanooga for a Super Bowl, had brought a friend over who knew that and painted the Thing. So he walks in and the first thing he goes is, "Hey, so here's the Thing," and then holds up the painting. And I'm just like, that's hilarious.
You know how many times I've seen like people do the sprays in Marvel Rivals? Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's something strange on the ceiling. And it's Doctor Strange's face. Oh my God.
Yeah, I used to mess around with those sprays a lot more, and then I kind of just forget about it until it becomes a mission. And then I'm just like, well, guess I got to use 2 sprays.
But no, if there's a city-killing asteroid barreling towards Earth, there is a city I want it to hit.
Ooh, what city?
Yeah, just throw out a guess.
For you, Nashville?
No.
Okay.
That's too close.
Then I have no clue.
Los Angeles with those fucking liberals. Fuck.
Los Angeles already got hit by fire. I don't know if they're going to need anything else.
No. Philadelphia.
Really?
It needs to be wiped off this fucking planet, dude.
Why? It's a city of brotherly love.
Ha! Ha! Unless you're a fan of the opposing team. Oh, have you seen these videos coming out the past couple days?
No, I've heard that the town was going to get destroyed or some shit, though.
Yeah, so people have walked the streets of Philadelphia the morning after the Super Bowl. Business windows are smashed. Cars are totaled. Street lights are ripped out of the ground and carried miles away. Hey, remember that rioting for racial injustice.
Big no. Big no.
Rioting for your team winning a game.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know,
fucking
it makes
losers.
That makes no sense. Like I could not really understand, but I could see that they'd riot if their team lost or some shit. But for winning, that's like UT Knox taking their goalpost and throwing it in a river or some shit. Wherever that happened there.
Right. Whenever that happened.
Yeah.
But even then, like, I don't consider that on the same level because at least you're doing it to your, like, at least it's just a goalpost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you are doing it to your, well, I guess some of those people don't go to UT Knoxville. But, dude, and that's not even the start of it. The amount of times I see, like, a Commanders fan going to the Eagles game where his hat is stolen and he's just trying to walk back to his hotel and people are like nose to nose spitting on him. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! And there's one specific video, and I wish I could find it, but there was a Knicks fan who went to a Knicks 76ers game it was like playoffs a couple of years ago, like second round in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He had his hat stolen, his jersey that he was wearing ripped off of his body, and he was sucker punched like 4 times. Why? Because he was a Knicks fan.
You know, there should be a separation of being a fan and being a crazy fucking lunatic.
There should be. The problem is in Philly, that's 80% of their fan base. The 20% that's chill is like, guys, can we not punch police horses? Can we not can we not tear up the city? We were just complaining that a plane landed in the middle of the city and we were freaking out about it. And we said, wait, we could do more.
We can do better.
You fucking losers. Philly fans are fucking... I was cheering for the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I was too.
Because Saquon Barkley is probably my favorite player in the NFL right now. I wanted to see AJ get a ring. I wanted to see Jalen get a ring. Darius Slay, I wanted to see get a ring. Brandon Graham, I wanted to see get a ring. Fuck Nick Sirianni, and fuck that entire fan base. I wish all those players played for a different team so that fan base didn't get anything good. You deserve what the 76ers are, you cunts. You deserve that the Phillies fuck up in the playoffs every year. Oh, we got Bryce Harper, but we can't do anything. We get our ass kicked in the World Series. Fuck you. Fuck Philadelphia.
I see. You see, I was rooting for the Eagles all game, and I did see that they were shutting out Saquon Barkley, and I was like, wow, they can't do anything else, though. So that was good. But I don't understand why people riot in the sense of destroying businesses that are most likely, in a lot of cases, like people's livelihoods.
No. And if you bring it up to any Philly fan, it's, they hate us. they don't like us and we love it. You're fucking...
They hate us because they hate us type shit.
You should be shot. I got another comment on TikTok banned. Totally unrelated.
Oh, okay. Unrelated. I was going to say, what was it?
But I'm at risk of probably getting my entire account.
You should probably stop commenting if you're going to keep getting shit banned.
Dude, it was a Kill Tony clip. Do you watch Kill Tony?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Kill Tony is basically this concept where you get like a 5-minute set in front of comedians. Shane Gillis will be on there. Tony Hinchcliffe will be on there. Tom Segura, Joe Rogan. A couple guys will judge your set, right?
Okay.
And it was a clip of that, and I was scrolling through the comments. I
You said it
tried to
right.
mention my fuck up and I said the word correct. What is
Yeah.
that about?
I was like, why is he just repeating comments?
But no, I was scrolling through and someone said anybody who's offended by Kill Tony just needs to toughen up and learn how to laugh again. And nobody in the comments said anything about being offended. No,
I was going to
not a
say,
single word.
What did he say for people to be offended? But I'm assuming nobody was offended then.
Nobody. He just said that. He just decided to stand up in the crowd and say, I'm a man. You should accept this. I think it's funny. So I just replied with, you should be shot. and TikTok said, no.
I mean, fair. He was pre-white knighting the dude for whatever fucking reason. So, sure.
Listen,
Even though TikTok, as you know, does not like. It's the third time, dude.
it's quite some time where I just say that. I say you should be shot. That's all I say.
And it always gets deleted every time.
And I mentioned this to my lady. I was like, this comment got deleted. And she was like, was it against TOS? And I just went, and she went, so yeah. And I was like, but it's true. And he was like, yeah, but.
But it went against TOS.
I'm not saying there should be a mass execution of people like that. But there should be a mass execution of people like. Same with people where if I go listen to an old song and the first comment I see is 2025, anyone?
Hey, they're keeping the post engagement alive, I guess.
I even saw one where like way below it in the same comment was, I don't want any hate or anything. I'm just genuinely curious. I'm like, oh, so people think like me. You're annoying. Shut up.
See, can I get this thought out of my head? It's a real question. I went and watched an old series that I watched like probably 8 years ago on YouTube. And I decided to look at the comments to see if I remember some of them. And first thing I saw was 2025 anybody? And I was just like, oh, come on. And there was just like tens of those comments. And I'm just like, dude, can we not?
I watched an old movie called Heaven Can Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's a decent little movie with an ending that isn't really like it ends well.
Okay.
But it's also an ending that has you thinking of like, did it end well? It's about this football player, backup quarterback. He's finally going to get the starting job and he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in charge of the afterlife, because it's not quite angels, it's not quite Christian afterlife, even though it's kind of promoted as that.
Yeah.
They say like, oh, you're not supposed to be here for a little bit. So they put him back in another body and whatever. But I go through those comments and it's a bunch of old people because this movie was made in the 70s. And it's people saying like, no pornography, no swearing, and no violence like the rest of this movie. Or all the movies made today. First of all, not true. Second of all, you're a fucking idiot that should be in a nursing home. Why do you have access to the internet? Third of all, there's literally a scene where he gets shot in the back of the head and dropped down the well. Like, that's not violent? It doesn't show like blood or anything, but
it
no violence. What?
Is there two versions of that movie that seem to follow different stories?
Possibly.
I found the 1943 one that says Technicolor on it. That's old.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 70s is a remade version of that.
Okay. Yeah, here's a 78 one. Okay.
It's a really good movie. My only big issue with it is they don't change the actors. You're supposed to believe that the body he gets put into is this fat, out of shape rich guy that he's got to whip back into shape, but in the training montage, it's just him. So he looks like an NFL player, an NFL quarterback, and you're supposed to believe that it's this big, fat, ugly guy.
So it's in the eyes of the viewer, it's this guy, but in the eyes of everybody else, it's the big, fat, rich dude.
Yeah. It's,
I could
it's
see
because
it
they
working
didn't
out.
have. Well, I want to say it's like, well, they didn't have the technology. And it's like, yeah, just get a different actor.
Person. Yeah. Yeah. So say I could see it working out, like maybe if it's from his perspective, you see him, but if it's somebody else, like I'm seeing a picture right now, this woman looking like, oh my gosh, like surprised at him. Maybe he could be the big fat dude at that point in time, but it just looks like him.
Yeah.
So
honestly, you should watch the movie. It's pretty. There's two parts in it that I absolutely love. One of them infuriates me, and not in like a bad movie sense, just like, oh my God, this guy.
Yeah.
So what happens is he's on a bike ride. He goes into a tunnel and you hear a car crash and you're like, oh my God. Right? Next thing you know, he's in the afterlife chilling. Well, what happened was his like, the person, so in this universe, when you are going through a situation that you might die, this being decides to watch over and they pull you when you die.
Okay.
So this being apparently was a rookie and pulled him right before the crash. And the overseer says, dude, he was going to live through the crash. And the being's like, oh no. But they go back and his ashes are there. Like it's not a body anymore. It's over, right?
He's done.
And the dude flips out, justifiably flips out. And the rookie being is like, well, you're being a little harsh.
What? Like, you just ripped my soul at my body before I died. Yeah. Sure, I'll be calm about this.
And now I'm fucked. Do you understand this?
We're seeing my ashes, brother.
But no, the group of people that really make that movie watchable is the butlers, because he gets put into this guy who owns, like, he's a billionaire basically, and just he in the middle of the movie or throughout the movie, he's trying to find an athletic body. His original plan is not to get this guy in shape; it's to find a professional athlete.
Yeah.
So throughout the movie, the beings will come down and talk to him. And he decides to talk to them in a closet because nobody else can see them but him. So he doesn't want to look like an insane person. But a couple of the butlers end up hearing him in the closet. And there's just one scene where after like a couple times of this happening, the butler brings a tray of like 2 teas, 2 scones or whatever. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I thought, if the master has someone over, I figured he'd want tea as well. And I'm like, God, I love you. I love you, dude.
Such a pure, innocent soul, it seems.
I love it.
I actually started watching, or I say started, I watched Blackberry recently. And as much as I didn't pay attention to it, because it was while I was at work, it was a pretty good movie. It was kind of funny. Had some pretty neat humor in it.
Last night we watched one of my favorite comedies, Dracula Dead and Loving It. Have you ever seen it?
I have never heard of that one. There's so many Dracula movies I don't know anymore.
God, dude, it's so funny. It's with Leslie Nielsen, and it's one of those like stupid comedies. Like he's trying to hypnotize the guy to make him his slave, and he goes, "You are getting very sleepy," and the guy just, and he just goes, "Renfair, you fell asleep too quickly."
It's like you didn't put on a good enough act.
My favorite scene in it is there's a lady who gets turned into a vampire and they have to stab a stake through her heart to keep, or she dies, is about to come back. So they got to stab the stake to keep her from coming back.
Yeah.
And he says, all right, right there. And the guy is just, wait. And he hides behind a pillar. He's just like, all right, now. And he hits it, and it just flood of blood just covering him. And
I see that. I see that ski right here.
Dude, and he just goes, ah! There's so much blood.
Why is the Dracula guy so clean? The blood is everywhere.
Dude, I love that movie so much.
It's not Dracula at all. Whoever has the top hat on.
That's Van Helsing.
Ah,
Yeah.
gotcha. See, the way you describe that reminds me of Monty Python for some reason.
Yeah, it's something like that. Except I didn't like Monty Python.
I loved Monty Python. It was funny.
Monty Python just didn't have enough good jokes for me, and a lot of the jokes carried on way too long.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, I like the Leslie Nielsen snappy, back and forth, like Airplanes or Naked Gun, or we're probably going to watch Naked Gun tonight. I'm hyped up for that.
I think I'm probably just gonna zone out and play Minecraft tonight because I gotta catch up. I've got a big build that I'm planning out. What?
You're a builder in Minecraft?
No, I am currently recreating a build. My friends are builders, and they have fleshed out most of what's currently in the world right now, except for my empty ass mountaintop that I just finally cleared out last night. So,
see, I'm not a YouTube tutorial guy. I think you found that out when you were like, "Hey, these people are suggesting this about Dr. Magneto." You fucking idiot.
I'm trying to think of what you. Oh,
yeah, about Magneto. You were like, "Oh, this Reddit post on how to play Magneto."
Yeah,
I don't do that.
That was more for me, and I just found that by happenstance because I was like, I had tried Magneto a couple times before and was like, let's see what they're talking about here.
Yeah, but with Minecraft too, there's a million videos on build styles and this kind of house and this seed, and I just hop in. I have a creative world where I just fuck around and build anything. And probably the best thing I built was the library in there. I'm pretty proud of that library. But I just I do my own thing, if that makes sense,
Yeah, I mean, I had to make up from the last phase we went through because I had started a build. That was actually going to be my own kind of build, but then I never got back on and it just kind of stagnated right there.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to finish this one.
There's something I got to say over a video I saw this morning.
Oh, okay.
And this dude was like, man, if you take quick play seriously in Marvel Rivals, for anyone, if you take quick play seriously, you're not good at the game. You're not. Listen to me. Listen to me, okay? I might invite you, couple other buddies from the Discord or for my personal life or whatever, and we might go to Lee Victory Park and say, hey, let's play some two-hand touch football, right?
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen? That game's not serious. That game's just for fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, all right, I'll be quarterback and I want 5 running backs, no receivers. Oh, by the way, I'm just not going to try to win. I'm just going to throw wherever I want to throw. You know what I mean?
See, in terms of quick match, here's how I treat it in Marvel Rivals, of course. If I'm with the Discord people, we're all hanging out having fun. If I've got a full or mostly full lobby and we're playing quick match, we're going to throw out some crazy builds. We're not going to outright just throw the game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we play as good as we can with the limitations we set for ourselves, and if we gotta break them, we gotta break them just to win. But we're not taking it seriously, though. I may still get annoyed at how some people play. But
I'm not saying I do take it seriously because I don't. I mostly use quick play now for warm up matches before I go into competitive. Or if I want to, have a trial run with a character. I get it, but I'm still going to fit a role that I need to fit that the team needs, and I'm still going to try to win the fucking game. I'm not just going to be doing my own thing. That is ridiculous. I'm not saying I take it seriously, but I still want to win the fucking match.
I'm still competitive. I still want to win. It's not fun to lose.
If you don't want to win, and I don't want to get disrespectful because it's stupid to get disrespectful, but this dude was already like, you're bad at the game. If you don't want to win, you're a bitch. Bitch. Bitch made.
There have been several times where I've I main Cloak and Dagger. For those that don't watch our streams, hit us up, DatHomieZ, twitch.tv, or RL Jackie on YouTube. Stream, right? So I will play some healer that I don't know, just to see how well I can play with them, to learn them. And then we'll lose horribly. I switch to Cloak and Dagger or Invisible Woman, and then we start winning again. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I do for this game. I kind of need to fit that role of a character that I know would play.
I still have not heard a good reasoning for why there is no role Q. I've not heard a good reasoning. I just hear people screaming. I just played a competitive match where one person went tank, damage, support, tank. The entire match went 3 and 10. So every time they switched to tank, I would have to go to support. And then they switch back to support. Now we're running 1 tank and 2 damage, and then 3 damage and 3...
There's that. I mean, I went through that kind of situation last night, but it's because I kept getting targeted, and then our healers, we had 2, decided I'm going to move to, I think one of them moved to DPS, and then I switched to healer, and then the other one switched to tank, so then I became the only healer, and I don't know how we won that game. I think we should have lost from how they were playing, because everybody played like fucking shit that game. And dude, I was just like, I can't.
I'm just saying, it doesn't even have to be a screen like in Overwatch 2, where you picked if you want to play tank, damage, or so. Just in competitive, make it to where as soon as you queue up, it sets you in a role and you can't get out of it.
Role queue. See, there's been ways to get around that. Just like take League of Legends, for example. You do technically role queue in League of Legends, but then you hop into a ranked game, and then they'll be like, actually, let me play this, or let me play this lane here. And a lot of the times, or not a lot of the times, in the higher elos, maybe you can get that. In the lower ones, it's just kind of, you're stuck in whatever lane you picked. You kind of, unless they're like willing to move, you're just stuck there. And I think that's how it should be in Rivals.
In Quick Match, I have no problems with there being no role queue. I don't care.
Yeah, quick play, I don't care.
Because it's Quick Match. Again, you should be filling out the roles the team needs, but
it's
whatever.
Not absolutely necessary. It's Quick Match.
If you want wild and wacky gameplay where you're just going to get your ass kicked because you're too stubborn to get off a character, whatever, be my guest. I'm going to just hop out the game and deal with the consequences. But when I'm playing a competitive game and there is 5 damage and 1 support because everybody is a little fucking toddler that doesn't know how to use more than 1 character, that shouldn't be happening. Well, get people to play with. Fuck you.
You should be able to openly join a lobby and not have to worry about somebody doing something completely crazy and like game ruining for you.
And even if you want to extend it to, okay, let's compromise. As soon as you pick a role in the pre-game lobby, I want to be a duelist, I want to be a strategist, I want to be a vanguard. As soon as you pick that character, you are locked in. I'm tired of the jumping around, and now our team's unbalanced because you chickened out. You fucking pussied out of the role you were in because you were getting your ass kicked.
One thing I gotta say I do like is when I'm in a full lobby, we can strategically change roles when needed. So there's been several times where I was playing like duelist and needed to switch to a healer because one of our healers was doing bad and wanted to switch to duelist. I'm just like, okay, cool, I got you. That I like. If it's not anything like that, I really, it's like the one positive out of a mountain of negatives. So,
yeah, and if you're just in a lobby with a bunch of random people, they'll just swap.
Yeah.
Now we don't have a tank because they went to support, and no one notices because we're all trying to win the fucking game, so no one's looking at the scoreboard. And then at the end of the match, in the chat is just filled with, why do we have 4 support? Open your fucking eyes!
If you lose and you have 4 supports, I'm telling you they're not doing shit. So some of them need to switch off.
Jesus
It'd be nice.
Christ.
We
And we
did
had
run
a
into a
game
game with 5 healers and 1 tank, and that was probably the funnest, worst game I have ever played.
like your team or the other team.
The other team was the 5 healers, 1 tank. They had 5 healers and Doctor Strange.
Interesting. Oh, and he's got that shield on him.
Yes. I got my ult 4 times in the last, what was it, like 0.83 meters of the game before it ended, before we lost. Yeah. And somehow we kept him there. I don't know how. I'll take it, though.
I'm finally on the edge of getting out of Plat 3, which I know is not much because I'm still going to be stuck in Plat, but that thing, I haven't played competitive in a while because you have heard my frustrations with Plat. If y'all want to see my frustrations with Plat, the VODs are on my YouTube channel, RL Jackie. My God. And I always say, I know I'm not the best player. I know. But when people are making stupid fucking decisions, and like when I'm talking and I'm trying to be entertaining, my frustrations come out. There's a lot of screaming in those VODs. But when I'm not, I'm just silent. I just like, today I was playing a game where Thor just kept going into the middle of the team. And getting his ass kicked. Yep. So I would die, spectate him, and I'm like, why?
Yep. I made it out of gold 3 the other day, but I'm now negative 25 in gold 2. So we'll see how that goes. But the game to get out of gold 3 was probably the dumbest game I have played in a minute. Because I had also not played generally in like the last, 5 days, I think. And that game was one of the first I'd played coming back into it. It's like, okay, I've got 30 to get out of gold 3. And I watched my Star-Lord run in, get damaged, run out, run around the corner, away from me, I might add, and then start pinging that he needs to be healed. And I just looked at him like, what do you want me to do? You ran over there, out of the way, and then I hear one of the dudes on my team like, he can't heal you around the corner, bro. And I'm just like, thank you! Thank you!
When I play, so I am half maining Bucky as my damage character right now because he's really, really fun, especially when you get on a roll with that ult.
Yep.
Again. I love it so much. But his lack of movement, for those of you who need the context, I mained Star-Lord before that. But if we need a little switch up and I need to switch to another damage character, I'll switch to Star-Lord. And God, dude, the movement on Star-Lord is so satisfying, especially when you're good with it. When I'm doing circles around a Thor and he's getting very pissed off because he can't hit me, and then it feels so good. You know, in real life, Star-Lord doesn't have a fucking chance against Thor. I say real life, like these are real people.
And the MCU, he does not.
MCU comics, whatever, Thor would beat the ever-loving dog shit out of Star-Lord. Yep. But in my little headcanon, if I was the Star-Lord, that shit wouldn't happen.
They're just going to throw out the movement all around them, even though in the MCU and the comics, Thor can fly. So,
yeah.
I don't know how well that's going to work out.
I am now Centurion with Rocket and Magneto. Very close to Lord with both of them. Because both of them, in ranked, they don't play tank and they don't play support. So that's pretty much, it's rare that I get to play damage in competitive games. But if y'all want to be carried through the ranks, just play Rocket. Just play. Now, if you're the only support, it's not going to work out well. Rocket is not a solo support character.
No.
But a lot of people say you have to have 3 supports if you want to play Rocket.
No.
Shut
Rocket,
up.
2 supports is fine with Rocket.
Yeah, every time I am funneled into the support category in a competitive match, I go, yes, please y'all be good. Because if the team is good, if the tanks and the damages take care of what they need to take care of, I'm in a corner, revive, Enjoy the amplifier.
Yep.
All game.
I like playing Rocket. I haven't played him in a minute. I should probably start playing him again. But
I've thought about hopping off because he's not a good solo support, but I have so much fun playing Rocket that I don't.
I've had not a bad time with him as a solo support. It just was never easy enough for me to justify ever really doing it in like comp. So
yeah, if I want to solo support, I'm doing Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. So.
I can usually solo support. I've tried getting good with Loki recently, but Loki, like, you got to hit your shots with your heals, and you can't heal yourself outside of the beacon ability, which sucks.
I think besides what Cloak and Dagger, Jeff, and Rocket Raccoon are like probably the easiest supports in terms of accuracy to healing.
Yeah. I was about to say, Cloak and Dagger, but you said that first.
Yeah.
My fucking peanut brain, dude.
Everybody else, I'm not good at aim, which is why I don't really navigate towards Duelist at all. I have been more recently just trying to get better, but yeah, if I want an easy healing game, it's probably going to be Cloak and Dagger, especially since I'm so used to her.
Playing Magneto and Bucky have forced me to get good at my aim, but I can only imagine being a strategist like Invisible Woman or Loki.
She's fine.
Or, well, like when you have to hit them, it's not an automatic thing.
Easy. No, yeah.
It's not a ball to go wherever. When you have to physically hit them and your damages are Star-Lord and Spider-Man and you're not getting healed. I'm sticking to the tank. Y'all make sure you get the health packs.
If I'm playing Invisible Woman and we have divers, it's very rarely am I going to be able to heal them like in a good form. They either have to go in and come out safely or they're just dead.
I apologize for talking so much about this game, but we do truly love it. I love.
Oh yeah, Marvel Rivals is a fantastic game to play.
Like I feel like it gets at least one segment of the podcast for the past 2 months.
It's been our what we name it, our addiction. So yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I told my lady earlier today. I was like, the podcast is getting to a point where there's so many episodes that I can't tell you 50%. Or I can't tell you 70% of the things that we've talked about.
You know, that's absolutely wild, and I do not believe that statement one bit, because just the other day, I made the comment because I was like, there was one point at this, I think it was our most recent episode here, I was like, should I show the picture here? Because I'm not sure if I should. And then you brought out exactly what you had said at that moment in time, and I'm just like, how the fuck did you remember that? Because I'm sitting there looking at it, so cool. I didn't show you that. You don't have the video yet. So how do you know?
I tell you, though, it's day by day. Like my lady will ask, so what chores did you get done? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Because, I mean, that's how I am with, like, tests. So that's why I always say, like, in school, I was a horrible tester. Because I would know the material until it comes to the test. And then suddenly it's just like, I don't think we learned that. Totally did.
That's always why I was so scared to study, because I feel like if I studied, it'd give me anxiety.
Yeah, I think I had just had test anxiety, but I'm out of it now, so we're cool.
But I also hate that I didn't study, because I think I've said this before. I got a 22 on the ACT without trying on it, and if I tried on it, I probably could have gotten a 27, maybe. I mean, I ended up not using it. It wasn't worth the shit. The only time it was worth the shit was when I enrolled in Motlow. They were like, oh, you want to do some honors stuff? You can, your ACT was high enough that you could do. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty sick. But
I took the test 3 times, took the ACT 3 times. First time I got a 21, said, I want a better score. So sure, I'll go take it a second time. My calculator died. And yet I got a higher score in the math test than I did the first time around. So I was like, okay, sure. Took it the third time, got a 22, and just said, fuck it, I'm done.
What are all the categories? Math, science?
Math, science, history, English.
I think that's it. I think I got a 16 on the math. an 18 on the science, but like a 28 in history and a 25 in English.
I got a 27 on the math without a calculator. I got a 22 on it the first time with the calculator, and I got a 22 this third time.
I sucked at math. I hated math. Math was pretty much guessing for me.
As much as I have a real love-hate relationship with math. If it's anything that I consider simple math, so, just like addition, subtraction, like multiplication, like break whole numbers type shit, got it. As soon as we get into algebra and calculus, might as well just consider me checked out.
There was a time where it was before we started learning algebra, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like a squared plus b, that's Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem, yeah.
But it was that shit where you had to do multiple levels, where you had to like times the 4 by this number and you had to go down.
Oh, like the tables or whatever the fuck they're called?
Maybe. It was some form of that.
Yeah.
But I was in 7th grade and my mom always, like, at our church, she always wanted a daughter. So a lot of like high school women would hang around our house. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways. Not today. That's not me today. That was 7th grade me. Add the context.
I'm just thinking, you said your mom always wanted a daughter and she had, 5 boys? So.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my lady's mother always wanted a boy and she had 3 girls.
So there you go.
Yeah. But this girl was like a sophomore and she laid out this math problem and I did it. Or I didn't do it, but I did one step and I walked away because I was that weird kid where I was like all nervous. Plus I had a little bit of a crush on her. We'll get to that story in a second. But as I was walking up the stairs, I was like, the answer's 4. And she did the whole thing and the answer was 4. She was like, how the fuck?
All right, mysterious Riz, I see you.
Yeah, no. Dude, I was that weird fucking kid that we had a game in you really said mysterious Riz.
Yeah, I did. We were going to skip over it. We should have just skipped over it. I regretted it after I said it.
I got that unspoken Riz, dog. Look at me.
The answer is 4.
The answer is 4. I gave my brain. But no, there was like times where we had a game in our English class where if you got an answer right, you got to shoot a paper ball into the trash. Oh. And the further back you were, the more points you got. And I went the furthest, hand in my pocket, walked, didn't even set my feet, tossed it, made it, and walked back to my seat. And the teacher made it so much worse because she was like, oh, Jack, you got swag with that one. And I was like, what?
See, when I was in middle school, my math teacher did a thing where he would put a question up on the board, and we had like our own little like personal clipboards or whatever that we'd write the answer on. And you could either stand up or sit down depending on what you did previously. Yeah. And at one point, he just said, "IZ, don't stand up too fast." Or no, he said, "Don't fall asleep now," because we were all standing and for the next one. And I just sat down immediately after getting the answer. It was just like, all right, I'm gonna chill here for a minute. That was the best I got. That
girl, though.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the biggest times I've ever embarrassed myself. So, like, her and my mom was sitting at the dinner table, and I was fucking with her. Forgot what I was doing, but I was fucking with her. And my mom just went, Jack, stop flirting with her name. And I started laughing, and I was like, what? And she was like, look at how red his face is getting. And they both turned around, and I swear to God, dude, it looked like a tomato had exploded under my skin. I went to my room and I cried.
Always count on mom to throw off the game.
Mom, you're stepping on my toes.
Mom, shut up.
You're fucking with the mysterious Riz.
I can't believe I said that. Yeah. Got one on me. Okay. I'll save the soundbite for you.
I will say, my mom said something wild in a time where I got in trouble. Okay?
Okay.
My mom was the king of overreacting and taking shit to the extreme. All right?
Same.
This is a big, long story, but there's another topic I want to get into before we end this podcast, so I'll shorten it for right now. Okay?
Gotcha.
Basically, I was staying at my buddy's house. We both played on the football team. We walked outside. It was 96 degrees. We said, fuck football practice. All right? But his dad was like, nah, you're going. And we said, but fuck that. And he said, nah. So he took us, and my buddy was like, don't worry, I got you. And he was like, yo, Dad, can you drop us in the front of the school? Because we want to talk a little bit before we, go to practice. Dad said, yeah, I got you. Dropped us at the front, and as soon as he left, nope, didn't go. So we just hung around doing random shit at the school. We went across, this was at Blackman Middle School, all right?
Okay.
There was like a dance team in one of the hallways, and on the side there was doors that were glass doors so you could see in. So we'd fucking walk by the doors just going fucking walking away. And we did that and they were laughing, and then we did it once and their coach was like we were like, all right, bail out of that.
All right, peace out, we gone.
But my girlfriend at the time lived right next to the school, so we thought about going over there, but we didn't. Important.
Okay.
What's also important is my phone died. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Practice ends. His dad comes and picks us up, and we didn't know the plan for me getting picked up, right? We figured that I was just going back to his house. But I said, you know what? Leave me here. I'll stay around here. I'll figure something out. I don't know what told me to stay there, because I had no way outside of confronting the coaches, which I didn't want to do, of like contacting anyone.
Hey,
right?
coach.
What I didn't know was my grandmother, my stepmother, her mother, and someone else had pulled up to the school before practice ended, looking like picking me up, right?
Yeah.
I say before practice ended, they were there so that they could see me walking out of practice, get dressed, get in the car, and leave.
Yeah.
They didn't see me. Not only did they not see me, one of the players came up to the car and they were like, hey, did Jack come into practice? And they were like, no, Jack didn't come up to practice. So now they don't see me and they have no idea where I am, and I'm not picking up the phone. Not a great look.
No.
So they start freaking out until I open the side door and slip in. And I'm like, let's go. And dude, they called my mom and said, yo, he's here. And she was like, let me talk to him in the most polite voice you can imagine.
Yeah.
And got on the phone, and I just saw this Obama meme where it's like when you're trying to act nonchalant when your mom is giving you death threats, and I swear to God, blowing up my ear. They could all hear her blowing up my ear, and I was just like crying, knowing my ass about to be tore up when I get to the house.
See, that happened to me semi-recently because my mom does the same thing. And, I work hell early in the morning. And I went to bed like 4 o'clock that afternoon for whatever reason. And my mom had tried to call me. I didn't pick up. She said, he's probably asleep. My aunt tried to call me for something else. I didn't pick up. So she called my mom and was like, is he good? And my mom was like, he's probably asleep. Well, my aunt called my Nana. My Nana tried calling me. Didn't pick up. Again, I'm knocked the hell out. So, and also 80 miles away. So they have no way of getting to me. My mom would have my location, and I'm pretty sure it probably just showed that I was here at home. And she was like, he's probably just at home. And they're like, well, he's not answering the phone. Is he cool? Did he leave his phone at home or something? Did something happen? And they had a whole plan to ride out the next morning if I didn't give my mom a call. And it just happened that I woke up at like 2 o'clock that morning, checked my phone, saw that, checked my mom's location, saw that she was at work, called her, and was like, did y'all need something? She was like, boy, we about rode out there to get you.
But you already had the conclusion that you were asleep.
Yeah, but everybody else was freaking out. So my mom was like, maybe there might actually be something wrong since I didn't answer the phone for anybody.
But no, I get home and my mom says, You're not allowed to hang out with that friend anymore. If I see you hanging out with him, I'm going to call the cops. And she knew my girlfriend lived right next. So she told me that not only did I skip practice to go hang out with her, not only did I go skip practice to hang out with her and have sex with her, but also I had sex with her with my buddy. She said that I fucked off from practice to go screw my girlfriend with my friend. Little Eiffel Tower action.
All right.
What?
Your mom had a lot of faith in you.
Dude. And not only, she went to his house and told his father all this. And his father went back and said, did you fuck Jack's girlfriend with him? And he just went, what? What?
So is there a conclusion to that comes out to your mom finally believing that you didn't have a threesome with your buddy and your girlfriend?
Listen, one thing to know about my mom, she's not one for backtracking. She's not one for apologies. So I could say like, no, why would that happen? But I mean, if she believes that, it's a wrap. Like,
it's over. If she believes it, it's fact.
Yeah, I still believe that she thinks I lost my virginity in a threesome with my buddy on when we were in 8th grade.
You know, from my middle school, I went to Whitworth Buchanan, right? It's not too far off, at least from what rumors I've heard about some girls I knew in our basketball team. So, couldn't be too untrue, maybe, possibly.
I had a girl who was really bragging. It was this skinny white chick. She really loved the fact that she was sleeping with every black guy in that school. That was her thing. Open, and even for white guys, she was like, oh, he's cute for a white boy. Like, bitch, you are live, laugh, love white. What are we talking about?
We had a girl like that, and the guys were brothers. And they were extremely loud on the bus. And she was sitting there smiling and nodding along. Like, are you not listening to what the fuck they're saying?
Dude, she had a famous story. Well, story. I don't know if it was a rumor or story where she fucked her boyfriend. Boyfriend fell asleep and went and fucked his brother.
No, this was like straight tag team. Like,
that's disgusting.
That's yeah, exactly.
It's like
exactly.
I don't get the whole like obsession with twins. Like, oh, I got twins. Yeah, I'm home and I got some twins on me. That's incest, my guy.
Yeah, yeah.
What are we talking about?
Why are y'all bragging about this on a bus with 40 other kids and an adult yelling about it?
See, I never got the whole, and this is about to get a little spicy for YouTube, never got the whole, like, run a train on her. Oh, like me and the homies hit. What are we talking? That's nasty. That's disgusting.
I'm good.
Yeah. That's nasty. I have a buddy who was telling me about how him and this other guy was fucking his girlfriend. And I was like, you look it in the eyes? Like, y'all making eye contact? What are we talking about?
I think the question we would have asked back then was, were the socks on or off?
And I want to say, I'm not against, LGBTQ people. I don't give a fuck. But, like, as a straight man, what are we talking about? Just come out the closet, brother.
Just tell me. I accept.
And let me tell you, going inside a woman that was just penetrated by another man, that's gay. You're feeling his warmth. That's gay. That's gay.
If that's what you think, I guess.
That's gay. You're telling me that's not gay? That's gay.
It's weird.
Yeah, there's still his form in there, my boy.
On that note.
So the other topic I want to talk about was gambling. They're really gambling with their sexual health in those situations. Speaking of gambling,
Yeah, good segue. Good segue.
no, Freddie lost his ass on the Super Bowl, by the way. I got a text from Freddie. Freddie, the dude you met last week, hooked you up with those women.
Oh, Freddie. Yeah, Freddie. Yeah.
Freddie, he bet $2,000 on the Chiefs. I said it was a bad idea. I said the Chiefs were going to get their ass kicked, and he was like, "Nah, trust me. I'm Freddie. Freddie knows who's going to win last name." That's what he said to call him.
Damn it, I gotta do that again.
But no, I have thought over and over again about like getting into sports betting.
Uh-huh.
I have a massive addictive personality though. Like I'm so scared to get into it because I feel like I would lose everything.
I immediately, as soon as like all the sports betting stuff started happening, I'm just like, I'm good. Because there's the same exact reason. I'll put too much money in it and then I will lose it all.
There's a story we had where we were doing this game, quote unquote, in English class, where she put up a question and you could put, it was gambling. You could put how many chips you want on one answer. And if the answer was correct, it'd double the chips, right?
Okay, yeah.
And we'd go all in on one answer every fucking time. And when it was doubled, we'd hop up, and we were the loudest table, dude. We'd hop up and be like, "Yeah! Woo!" And then and then we'd lose, and we'd like start hitting each other and blaming each other. And be like, "You told me to put that in. What are we doing?" Right?
Hey, if it's not healthy competition, what is it? You know.
But we got loud enough where she took like half our chips out of just being loud because we were celebrating so much.
That's why you fucking lost.
But I think of that day and I'm like, yeah, I can't gamble. look at the animalistic behavior I display.
I mean, shit, I went on a work trip for FedEx and we went to a trivia night at some bar. And we were fucking in on it. Like, we were hooping in allies. Like, we had one of the restaurant servers who, like, knew that topic and was just feeding us answers.
Nice.
And we went and be like, yeah!
Did you
Fuck you, old white ball guy.
Do you remember the B-dubs trivia things with the little iPads?
Yeah, I did that. Mm-hmm.
I miss those.
I think they're on the phone now if they still do them. Like, you just get on the app, yeah.
I don't spend a lot of time at B-dubs anymore, but
I don't either. But it was fun when it was there. I mean, I think last time I did it, one guy in our group got third place out of whoever the fuck was playing over the however many people on the app. And so it was like cool. It was fun.
Me and the lady have been thinking about going to karaoke. She would love to see me, and I don't know. I would try my best to put my full jacuzzi into the song.
Oh, I told her I had a few spots that y'all could go to.
Yeah, she would love to do karaoke, especially now. She's obsessed with. You watched Fall Guy, right?
Yeah.
The version of "I Was Made for Loving You" in that movie.
Well, yeah, pretty good.
She is obsessed with that song right now, and now she knows every word, and she wants to do it at a karaoke night.
I was made for loving you, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that movie and song. So it was the generic action movie, but
that movie was fantastic.
Yeah,
I loved every second of that movie.
It was a fun movie.
There was a scene I saw before in memes before I watched it, and when it popped up, I was like, "There it is." That's when he's getting the gasoline poured on him, and the camera like goes up, and you see the jerry can, and you see him in the chair, and just the caption of it was like me looking at bro when he tells the cartel, "I don't speak Taco Bell." It's just,
which is wild because those dudes were Australian.
I think so. At least Aaron Taylor Johnson was. But
yeah.
On that note,
we have come up on an hour.
This was the Red Light Homies episode of the week. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you loved it. Let us know if you hated it. Whatever you want to do, go to the socials. TikTok, Instagram. That's pretty much it. Red Light Homies. Get in the comments. Episodes every Monday afternoon with shorts coming out every weekday. Make sure to
Yep.
follow, rate, and share, especially
And
rating, especially
I've got to throw in the shameless plug. We stream you daily, somewhat.
sometimes.
Me, once or twice a week, Wednesday, Thursday. Catch us
My
live.
my Wi-Fi's been piss poor, so the last time I did a stream, it went to audio only, and I was like, we're not going to do that. So whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, follow, rate, and share, especially rating, especially sharing. What's a 5-star rating these people can leave?
These guys really seem to love Marvel Rivals. 5 stars.
5 stars. But as I said, also share, whether that is clicking the crooked arrow, sharing it on whatever platform you have, or word of mouth. Word of mouth is most very important. If your buddy comes up to you and they're like, hey, I want to listen to a podcast about guys who talk about gaming, talk about childhood stories, and talk about why they're scared of gambling. Z, what can they tell them?
You tell them to head on over to the boys Jackie and Z at Red Light Homies, wherever you get your podcast from. And you can listen to them talk about some of their previous experiences with some of these topics.
Indeed, you can. This was the homies Jackie and Z,
That's me.
and we'll see y'all next Monday.
Peace out.